what's up, y'all? It's Cedric the Entertainer. We thought it'd be fun to take y'all through some of the trials and triumphs of the hat business. Here's my partner, GD Gardner, breaking down one from the archives.
So about a year into our company, we decide to expand our brand. Cedric's wife, Lorna, makes a few connections for us. We use our friend, who I'll call Mighty Murph, to line up some connections for us in Vegas. We go down to Vegas and we meet with this guy who I'm just gonna refer to as Mafia Mike. We go to one of the oldest restaurants in Las Vegas. We sit down at this huge table. The guy introduces himself, and the very first thing he says to us, and I'm not even making this up, he couldn't script it, the very first thing he says, in all sincerity, he looks into our eyeballs and says, "Listen, I want you to know it was a different Mafia Mike that threw that hooker off the 30th floor of that penthouse last week. That wasn't me. The press has got that wrong. All the stuff in the paper and the internet about me being a mobster and a gangster, everyone's just confused. It's a different Mafia Mike." So immediately we know, oh my God, we're in for a freaking ride with this guy. So we go through this whole meeting. The guy is just this animated character. He's 100 years old. He's just super interesting. But he basically says, look, I've got all the connections wired for distribution. I can help you expand your brand. I can get you into these big box outlets. It's going to be this amazing thing. We're going to work it out. It's going to be great. So we leave the meeting. We immediately call our friend Mighty Murph, who is connected from the front door of the White House to the underworld of the planet. And we say, Murph, what the hell is going on with this guy? Have you hooked us up with a mobster? Is this guy shady? What's going on? Murphy says, no, I've known him for years. I think he's a solid guy. He should be okay. So meeting after meeting, we start slowly engaging with this guy. We gotta get a deal structured together. And he seems like a decent guy. There's definitely some interesting bits about him. He's connected to a bunch of interesting things in Las Vegas. And you know, we're not really sure what the situation is, but it seems like it's okay. Well, one night, in the middle of the night, I get a phone call. And the voice on the other end says, I'm calling to make you aware of this. I'm not going to disclose who I am, but it's important for you and your associates to know what's going on. Every conversation that you have with Mafia Mike is being monitored by the feds. You should never take a phone call from him again. His place of business is wired. Everything that you say in there is being recorded, and we suggest that you don't have any contact with him any longer. Well, now we're halfway through the middle of this huge deal with him. There's another third-party guy we're dealing with who's supposed to be bringing the deal together, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. So the next day I go over to Cedric's house. I'm talking to Cedric and his wife about it, and she says, Gary, you get us the hell out of there. I've got a family. How are we tied up with mobsters? We're never talking to these people again. So I'm like, oh, Jesus. So I call our third-party contact. I'm like, man, what the hell is going on? Like, this is weird and awkward. And the guy's like, oh, I know. I got the same phone call like midnight last night. I've reached out to Mafia Mike's attorneys. I think everything's going to be okay. You and I will deal with this. Here's what we're going to do. A couple of days pass. My phone rings. It's Mafia Mike. Mafia Mike says, Gary, I can't believe that you would double-cross me. I can't believe that after everything we've been through, you're trying to cut me out of this deal. And I'm like, I'm not supposed to be talking about this right now. I can't hear you. Hang up. Don't call back. I hang up. Phone rings again. Mafia Mike. I'm like, dude, I got a phone call that said you and I aren't supposed to be having conversations. I don't know what we shouldn't be talking about this stuff over the telephone. And now I'm feeling like I'm in the middle of some freaking spy novel just trying to sling a couple of hats. So the guy just keeps calling me back, and he's absolutely pissed and irate, and all of a sudden I have 5 other phone calls with his business associate, and then these guys vanish. I never hear another word from any of them again. Our deal goes away. All the stuff we had in production goes away, and chapter Mafia Mike is over. The last thing I heard, there were indictments by the feds. There were freaking FBI guys and CIA guys and fucking high stakes Jeopardy and crazy hat shit. So one more from the crazy hat file, and I swear to God, they must put something in the glue.
Hey, now that you've heard our story, we want to hear one of yours. Go over to whosaid.com and give us 2 minutes of your best hat story, and maybe you'll become a part of the Who Said history.